after all these years, I've realized something here. I realized that others are programming others into a victimhood mindset, programming others to tell people what to be offended over, or what to feel insulted over, or program people into actually feeling offended or insulted over certain words. Now I ask the question. I want you to do this actually. Actually, I want you to do this here. I want you to deeply actually reflect for at least roughly 10 minutes, even more, if you need to. Now, ask yourself, honestly, introspect for a minute. What are the things in the world that actually you react to? The things you feel offended over? The things the things about yourself you feel offended over, you react to negatively. Ask yourself if this is actually a product of your mind or the product of how people around you react or more so the product of your culture. Culture. Yeah. Is it the product of the culture you're surrounded by, or the product of what you think you are? Now, after you do that, you're gonna realize that a lot of the things you've been told in life are things that, yeah, exactly that you've been told to believe these things as opposed to things that come from within you. What I'm trying to say is the fact that people out there are telling you what to be instead of you actually defining yourself. Because I think that's the exact problem. People try to find identity through other people or based on what people teach them, whether it be through religion or through authority or whatever. People are so-called education that is sponsored by authority, by the way. That's the problem. People actually try to have the world define them and tell them this is you. They tell you that just because you're this skin color, just because this is your gender, that this is you, this is your legacy, and you have to be this way, and you have to have this script. Now, this is one thing that really have frustrated me. This is one thing that very frustrated, to the point where it actually makes me outright angry. Where people tell me that just because I am this skin color or that, I have to be this way, I have to act this way. I say screw them. I say screw them. Why is it that I have to act and be this way? Why does I have to follow this script? What do you think I am? You think I'm a soulless being? You think I'm an NPC? That's what I'm asking. I don't follow no one's script. I follow my own. Wait, I don't follow no script, actually. I follow my own conscience. I follow what's in my heart. I never understood that. When I was growing up, for example, I've never understood the race thing. I always saw myself as a human soul. I never saw myself as someone as, oh, well, look at you. You got this darker skin color here, and that defies you. No, I always saw myself as a normal person. The concept of race I never got the concept of, oh, you must be divided you have to be divided. You have to think this way because this is other people that look like you are that way. Or these other people that have the same attribute to me, I don't know them. To me, they're total strangers to me. Like everybody else out there. You know what? But when I got older, I've come to realize that where this divide crap comes from is because of the fact that I think a lot of people don't understand that a lot of the divide between race is more to do with the fact there's a culture behind these groups of people, and what it is cultures clashing. And I think that's what a lot of the racism is fueled from, like the fact there's a cultural clash going on between the two groups of various different people with different skin color and all that stuff. And the fact that people look at each other like foreigners as a result, I guess, in a bad way. Or in a strange, or this person is a different person, and he's from this part. It's stupid. And I just hate how the world actually tries to make you think, put you in a box. They look at you and they want to define you quickly based on who you are. They want to tell you this is you. You know, to everyone else out there, I want everybody out there, and I mean it and I really mean it. I never ever let someone defy you. And I like to make a quick mention about the gender thing too, by the way. The fact that people actually try to, and no, this is not about me actually spouting this bullshit propaganda that gender is a construct. That's laughable. I mean, the people who say that out there pretty much have no true, real understanding of gender, especially from a spiritual perspective. Gender is an expression of duality, you know? That's what it is. It's an expression of duality. But people, to the unwashed masses and all the secularists out there wouldn't understand that. The philosophical materialists out there wouldn't understand that. You know? I think what I'm trying to say is the fact that just because you're of a certain gender doesn't mean you have to live a certain way. I mean, if you deep down in your heart want to live a certain way that goes outside so-called gender norm, then go for it. If it makes you happy. Don't do it because someone tells you to do it. And that's what I'm saying. Don't do it just because someone told you to do it or because you have to rebel against the system. You know? Do what's in your heart. Don't do something just because someone told you to do it. Because the ultimate freedom is doing something because you feel like you want to do it. Not because someone told you to do it or because you're making some stupid statement. You know, that's what I'm saying. You know? So don't get the wrong idea. I don't have an imbalanced view on gender. But I like to mention the fact that, hell, there's even men and women out there that don't understand each other. You know, because and that's another problem, you know? And the fact that people wanted to tell you that what it is to be a man, what it is to be a woman, you know? I mean, it's just these cultural constructs of what you have to be versus what you are in your heart. I mean, I can go on and on with that. I just want to quickly mention that gender thing right fast. But what I want to get back to is, you know, I've actually been doing this inner work on myself. And one of the things is I have to learn to actually not be reactive. I have to actually control my actions. I can't be reactive to things out there. That's related to the whole thing about having knee-jerk reactions to certain things. And I said to myself, where do these knee-jerk reactions come from? And I realized a lot of it comes from cultural programming. Because cultural programming is like a virus. You're told that you have to be offended at these little stupid words because this is your skin color. Oh, and if someone says that to you or about you, you have to be offended. You know? Or if you're this, or if, how should I put it? Or let's say that what if you are, what I'm trying to say is the fact is that you can't be offended because of the fact that someone told you have to be offended because, oh, that word's offensive. I mean, look what they're saying to you. Like, I've actually discovered of a racially obscure term for, let me rephrase that, but I discovered that there's this racial slur called jigaboo. I go, what the fuck is a jigaboo? Oh, God. It's just these words are so fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I had to just come out and literally say that because I'm sorry. I had to say it because literally, what the fuck? Really? I'm supposed to be offended at that stupid ass word, jigaboo, which is an extremely absurd racial insult? I discovered that because I was watching this video of some old guy calling someone behind the counter jigaboo, and the woman in the background just gasped. I'm like, what kind of fucking word about it? And I'm supposed to be offended. Oh God, I'm sorry. It just sounds so fucking. I get sorry. I'm seriously. What I'm trying to say is that we can't be offended over stupid words. I'm not gonna sit here and be offended because I'm told, well, that's a racial slur. So fucking what? That's all I have to say. You know? So what? Oh, I'm supposed to be offended as something, one of the dumbest sounding insults I've ever heard in my goddamn life. I'm supposed to be offended at that? What I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to say, I don't want to laugh again. Okay. What I'm trying to say is the fact that you can't, are you letting culture program you? Are all your thoughts, all your beliefs, I think this is the problem here, is the fact that people seek identity through external means, and that's how the manipulators of the world control people. People seek identity through external means. They seek it through ideology. They seek it through religion. They seek it through belief in authority. They seek it. Yeah, see, that's a real interesting one, the belief in authority. I mean, because that can lead to people wanting to become order followers in various institutions, because people are trying to find this identity because they've been so, because their minds have been, because like I said, when you incarnate into a body, you go through this thing called the veil of forgetfulness. You forget about who your true soul or true soul essence is. And when that happens, you come to realize instinctively that there's something wrong and that something feels empty inside you, missing. And you go out in the world and you try to find yourself. And I realize that, personally, me, I have to find myself by going within. I didn't find it out there. There was nothing out there. The world did not tell me nothing about who I am out there. I mean, I had to go within and find a lot of things about myself on the inside. I mean, the world can help you, but the biggest problem is that people become dependent on it. They want others to tell them what to think and what to be. My question is, are you telling yourself what to be? Because if you are, you need to stop it right here, right now, and actually start defining yourself. Define yourself about who, what is wrong with me? I keep stumbling upon my words. It's funny because I did another audio a few days ago. I did this audio a few days ago in my free time when I was not doing much, and I wasn't focused that day. It rhymes with that, but anyways, we live in a culture where we live in a world where their thoughts are not really theirs. Most of their thoughts are not theirs. For example, one of the things that comes to mind is how people react to nudity. How nudity is always so sexualized. I mean, like, for example, why the hell is there controversy over some freaking breastfeeding? Really? Why are you going to get offended about if a woman wants to breastfeed in public? Like, really? You're going to get offended at that? What, because you have a sexual fetish for that kind of thing? And it offends you like, oh my god, I see a titty. Oh my god, I see a titty. Oh my god, oh no, oh no. Oh, I'm going to die now. I'm going to die. Because you've seen a woman's breast. Especially in, what about artistic portrayals of nudity? But people want to make things, because people associate nudity with sex and pornography. If you always associate it with sex and pornography, there's something wrong with you. That's the thing about it. It's because the cultural programming has got to you. Because we've been told that, nudity is bad. Nudity is to be shunned, shamed. It's tied to how people have a negative attitude towards sexuality. No, if anything, people have a twisted attitude towards sexuality. It's so twisted and so confusing. I could do a whole video on that. And I'm going to do a whole video. And I'm going to do a write-up about that one day. And I'm going to and it's going to be a heated rant. And it's going to probably be curse-filled too. Because I'm going to go all out guns blazing with that rant. And I'm going to write an article on that too. Kind of like how I'm going to write an article on this video I'm talking about. I'm in the middle of writing it now, so expect that article within, 3 to 5 days. I hope procrastination doesn't... I have to learn not to procrastinate, but I've been working on the article. I just started today. But I'm just putting this video out because this is the video version of the article. And no, I'm not going to always do a video version of articles. But anyways, things like that. I mean, the nudity thing, for example. Are you programmed to suddenly be offended when you see someone naked? That's why I never understood why people actually have dreams about how, I had a dream when I was naked. And I felt bad in that dream. I had a dream when I was naked for some reason. I didn't feel bad about it. It was more like, okay, I'm naked. So what? No one cared. In the dream state, in the dream world, no one cared. I didn't care. I don't know why I was naked. But, for example, if I do have like a reaction to see someone naked and it's surprising, usually because it's probably because I'm reacting to you reacting. If that makes any sense. But still, let's think about another topic of what people are programmed to think. So I already went over the insults, the thing about race, and the fact that people think they need to be I'm going to go into that victimhood thing again. Yeah. The fact that people are told that if you go through a certain experience that you have to make this your identity. Like the world makes it so that this has to be your identity. That what you've been through in your life, the negative things, that this is your identity. Like, I'm a survivor of this or that and the other. No. You have to understand that Those are experiences you went through. Yes, they're bad. They can be bad. They can be horrific. But you have to let go. If you seek redemption or revenge, or you expect authority to actually do something about it, well, you're wasting your time. Authority as in, or more so authority as in, you want to visit the violence of the state on someone to fix your problems over the victimhood thing. That's not going to happen. But anyways, you need to understand that if you want to get over a trauma, one of the things you have to do is let go eventually. I understand that letting go is not an overnight thing. It's a process. But it's a tough process. I get it. You have to understand that if you truly want to start finding your true identity as an individual, you need to get over the false overlays, which is the identity, the whole I'm a survivor of, I'm a survivor of this, that, and the other. Yes. Yeah, you're a survivor. Or more so, but at the same time that, you're a survivor. But yeah, you're not a victim. I'm not gonna, because we got to get rid of the word victim out of the vocabulary. We have to get rid of that word, victim. We got to get rid of that word, victim, out of the vocabulary. Because you have to understand that we go through shit in life. We go through bad things. But you can't make that out of your identity. That's one of the most disempowering things you can do to yourself. One thing you can do, like I said, is let time heal the wounds. I think that's the reason why these things such as race and all these things about gender and all these things about my sexual preference was persecuted, blah 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 blah, won't go away because of the fact that you need to just let go. Just let go. If you're seeking redemption or revenge, you're not gonna get it. Especially lashing out at a bunch of people who actually directly had nothing to do with your situation. Then again, this funny thing is this ties into the whole sins of the father thing. That goes into another topic next time about collective karma and ancestral karma. I'm gonna get into that later in another topic another time. But still, that doesn't mean you have the right to lash out at people who directly hasn't affected you. You know, that's all I'm trying to say. You know, I think people need to learn how to let go instead of actually trying to turn it into their identity. Stop letting these little things in culture turn never mind. But I see I'm stumbling and fumbling today, but what I'm trying to see, this is the reason why I do writings. I'm not much of a speaker. And this is one of the reasons why I'm not much of a speaker. Like I said, I'm going to have a writing coming up about this that's going to be more clear and cut about this topic. So stay tuned for that. The article version will be out within, like I said, a week or less. So expect that then. But for now, I think that's it. Like I said, this is the video version of it, so I'm not going to go any further detail right now. I'm going to go more in detail in the article about this situation, so stay tuned for that. And that's it for now, I guess. Yeah.